Right, let's go back to the biggest story in the world right now. That is the arrest of Andrew Mountbatten Windsor. We're going to go back to the UK. Talk TV host Samara Gill joins us. Samara, has there been any statement from the royal family yet?
No, there doesn't appear to be, but it is absolutely mayhem over here. I mean, this is unlike anything I think the UK has ever seen. Genuinely, I mean, Andrew, on his what was meant to be his 66th birthday, he was meant to start collecting his pension, has actually, now he's going to spend it in police custody. And that's really what's going on. I mean, it was unmarked officers that went into his almost holding pen that he's in at the moment. He's not in his house that he was meant to be in, and he's also not in his evicted property of the Royal Lodge. So they went in there and they were seen taking laptops out, and they basically taken him. So I don't think the royal family's been somewhat silent on this up until now.
I just want to talk about for a moment the mechanics of arresting a member of the royal family, a member of the British royal family. A lot of people think that you can't do it. Now, in fact, you cannot arrest the monarch, so the King or the Queen is immune from prosecution or arrest. And in fact, people on the grounds of the palaces or in the presence of the monarch are also immune from arrest. Now, that means that the former Prince Andrew, of course, was not with his brother, King Charles III at the time, so he is able to be arrested. But this is something that has very rarely happened. I said earlier, I think Princess Anne is the only other member of the royal family who's pleaded guilty to a crime in the United Kingdom. So to even have a member of the royal family investigated, arrested by police is almost unprecedented.
Oh, it's completely unprecedented. I mean, this is something that has been a long time coming, though. I mean, we've had many politicians over here say no one is above the law. And unfortunately, former Prince Andrew has been above the law for a very, very long time. He's been able to get away with a lot. And this recent sort of litany of Epstein emails and files that have come out have totally exposed him for what he is. Now, of course, these are all alleged at the moment. But if proven true, and if he's proven guilty, then there's a maximum sentence of life imprisonment for Andrew. I mean, he's being charged, the police are reviewing that he trafficked a woman to the UK to have a sexual encounter with him via Epstein. There's also alleged sort of charges that he shared sensitive information with Jeffrey Epstein while he was serving as the UK's trade envoy. So this isn't, a little public indecency offence or something like this. This is really serious national security stuff that he's being charged for and or potentially charged for. And we really, really don't know which way this could go at the moment. I just think, even though from what I know, the family hasn't come out and said anything publicly, I feel like actions speak louder than words. And if the king wanted to, he might have been able to stop this, but he hasn't.
And we've already seen the Epstein scandal engulf Peter Mandelson. It's taken his job. Starmer's under pressure for what he knew about that when he was appointing him as ambassador to the US. Other Starmer staffers have now left Downing Street as well. I mean, beyond Prince Andrew, how do you think this is going to play out? Will we see more people implicated in this?
Yeah, it's a really good question. I mean, I think we absolutely will. This is definitely not the end of the line for what's going on with the repercussions of the Epstein files. I mean, yes, heads have certainly rolled in Westminster, and we've seen that with Mandelson. We thought that Keir Starmer would actually resign over this, but he's stuck in there like the kind of dictatorial, craven leader that he is. And I think that he will be able to get away with this because he made, as you said, his top advisor resign over it. So you can see the real ripple effect of what's been going on with the release of these files. I mean, the question is, what information did they have prior to this? Why has it taken so long for us to find out about what's actually been going on? I mean, we know that there's been a series of potential cover-ups, both in the UK and the US, about what this is. So it's almost disappointing that it's had to come to this point for Andrew to be actually held accountable. The things that he's been getting away with, the behavior that, you know, we've allowed pass in the United Kingdom really is shameful. And I think there will absolutely be more people that will have to be held accountable for this, because it's not a one-man band. It takes a series of people to make sure that this stuff doesn't reach the public limelight. And now it has.
Samara, how does the King handle his affairs today? If he goes out in public without having said anything, well, that would be a shocking look. On the other hand, if he sits at home and doesn't go about his normal duties, that's a bad look as well. What does he do? What would he be advised?
Look, I think the King's legacy will be tarnished by this if he doesn't act properly. He really, really needs a proper strategy in place. At the moment, it's been the old school Queen's edict, which worked for many years, by the way. You know, keep calm, carry on, never complain, never explain. That was how the royal family operated. But unfortunately, we're in the 21st century now. We've got social media, we've got Substacks, we've got international pressure from all different sides of the space. And I don't think that the King is actually equipped to deal with this. I think the silence, you know, yesterday he was spotted with Idris Elba trying to have a sort of photo opportunity, maybe potentially thinking that it could distract from all this news. Well, unfortunately, that's not going to cut it at this point. He's going to have to come out really strong on this, much stronger than he's ever been, if he wants to save his legacy, because unfortunately his brother is really coming for that and tarnishing it daily. And what we're speculating over here in the United Kingdom, and I spoke to Andrew Lowney, who's a very famous sort of royal biographer about this and knows everything to do with Andrew and the inner workings of the royal family. He said that unfortunately it's going to look like he might have to pass the buck on to William sooner rather than later, if he can't get away from this, because, you know, there are allegations that he potentially was involved in paying money out in that Virginia Giuffre money pot that was given to her. Now, we can't obviously corroborate those claims, but if he was involved in any sort of cover up with Andrew, then that's going to be a real issue. I mean, to give them the benefit of the doubt, maybe, you know, we know that Andrew was a compulsive liar. He lied on Newsnight countless times. He was obviously probably lying to his family, but you know, the King will be implicated in this, there's no doubt.
Just very quickly, Samara, have we heard anything about the whereabouts of the former prince's ex-wife, Sarah Ferguson? Of course, she has come up multiple times in the Epstein files, has been a major part of this story.
Yes, Fergie has kind of gone missing. I mean, she was spotted in Abu Dhabi, and what's interesting is I'm sure that they'll be holding her basically accountable for some of this. I hope that she's questioned. The thing is, though, Andrew should really, really be careful, because I think they'll be holding him to make sure that he also doesn't leave the country. We know that he had aspirations to go to the Middle East. We know that they would welcome him with open arms. But the thing about Fergie is I think she'll be staying wherever she is at the moment. I don't believe she's in the United Kingdom, and she'll definitely be called up for questioning given the sickly nature of her emails to Epstein. So, Fergie, you know, she'll be wanting some sort of safety out of the country where she can't be arrested too, because you make a really good point. She's next on the list as far as I'm concerned.
Samara Gill, it's a joy to talk with you. Thanks for giving us the latest. We appreciate your time tonight.